Hello, this is me, Sam here from WoopaGaming, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the PlugMan plugin for Bucket by Linux. And I've definitely pronounced that wrong, but apologies. He's the developer of this plugin. So first of all, what is this plugin about? Well, it's very simple, very easy to do plugin. It's very command based, and that's what I'm going to be going over today. But it basically allows you to start, enable, disable, load and reload plugins on the fly. So you can do that either in-game or even on the console. And the brilliant thing about it is that it's on the fly, so you don't have to do a server restart or a server reload in order to do it. So you can do all this sort of stuff. You can list the plugins, and basically we're just going to dive in and go over everything. So the first command is PlugMan, /plugman. And that will give you a list of all the PlugMan commands for this thing. So that's what we're going to go over today. So obviously, PlugMan help will do exactly the same thing. The first thing we'll go over is the PlugMan list. So PlugMan list. And this will give you a list in alphabetical order of all the plugins you've got installed on your server. So at the moment I've got 13 plugins, unlucky for some. And you can see there, Essentials, Hollow API, Multiverse. You can see all the previous plugins I just used for the video. Plus you have an insight of what might be coming up next. And also if we add -v, so PlugMan list -v, it also shows you version numbers as well against it. Now that looks a bit horrible, but if you wanted to check something out like that, you can do so like that. Okay, the next command we're going to go over now is the PlugMan info. And this requires one argument, which is the name of a plugin. So we'll just choose Vault, because that's easy to type in. And there you can see all the information about the plugin you've got installed. So we've got the version number here, like 1.2.15, and all the authors, Serial, Sleeker, and Munja, and whether or not it's enabled or not. So you can actually run this information command on disabled and enabled plugins. And that's what we're going to go over in a bit. But first we're going to do PlugMan usage. So PlugMan usage. We're going to use the same one. So we'll use Vault for now. And that shows you all the commands associated. Maybe let's use Essentials actually, because that will show you more commands. So PlugMan usage Essentials, and that shows you all the commands for that plugin. So with the Vault one before, I only had 2 commands, so that wasn't very good to show you. But you can see here all the essential commands you can use. So AFK, back, pweather, nick, all the commands are here. And it's basically like very similar to help, Essentials help, but it just literally just shows you all the commands. So that's quite handy, I guess, in some way. Okay, so that's that. Now we're actually going to go to the main purpose of this plugin, I guess, which is to enable, disable, and restart plugins. So first of all, let's disable a plugin. So plugin, disable, and then let's choose one. We're going to choose. We'll just choose Vault because it's easy. Plugin, disable, Vault. Oh, plugin. I meant PlugMan. PlugMan, disable, Vault. And now Vault has been disabled. So now if I do the information command, so PlugMan info Vault, you can so it tells you there in red, plug status disabled. So if I do /pl for instance, it shows you all the plugin list like we did normally, and obviously Vault there is disabled. Okay, so now we've disabled it, it won't have any effect. So for instance, the 2 commands were Vault info, so we'll just do that now. You can see nothing happens. And if I want to enable it, it's very simple. PlugMan enable Vault. And then if I run Vault info again, oh, there we go, the command works again. So that's how you can disable and enable plugins on the fly. We can also restart them. So doing plugin, restart, and then, for instance, I'll just choose something, PlotMe, for instance. I keep typing plugin instead of PlugMan. PlugMan restart PlotMe, and then it will restart it. So if I look on the console, it will disable PlotMe and then enable it again. Obviously, there might be some issues with enabling and disabling certain plugins, world generations being one of them. So just maybe check the console after you restarted a plugin just to ensure it's okay. So for instance, if I do PlugMan list now, you can see they're all enabled, so that's fine. What else have we got? Well, we got the last three: load, reload, and unload. So these are similar to enabling and disabling, except it will totally like unload it from the server. So we'll just do that to Vault. So PlugMan this time. Let's get it right. PlugMan unload Vault, and it says it's been unloaded. So now we do like PlugMan list. You can see Vault isn't even in red anymore. It just doesn't exist on the server. And then we can load it again by doing PlugMan load and then plugging Vault, and that will load it. So that's how you would add another plugin. So I could go to my directory. I could add a new jar to the plugins directory, and then I can go in game and do PlugMan load and then the name, and it will load it from like that. So that's great. And you can also obviously, if I unload it, what I can do is remove it from the plugin directory should I not want it. One last thing will be reload. So PlugMan reload and then Vault. So that's the same as loading and then that's the same as unloading and then loading it back on. So that's handy if you're replacing a jar or so on. Okay, so that's basically how you do all the commands and stuff. One last little thing, you can actually, with certain commands like enable, disable, restart, and reload, you can actually do it to the entire, all the plugins. So for instance, if I did PlugMan, I will get this right, PlugMan disable all, for instance, and it says all plugins have been disabled, of course excluding PlugMan itself, because it doesn't really work if you disable itself. But now if you just do PL, for instance, you can see everything's not working. If I want to do a command with essentials like just trying something TP, for instance, why do I have to choose the only thing? Let's try time. No, okay, well it didn't come up with anything, so you know it's not working, so that's great. And then we can do the same thing again by doing PlugMan enable all, and that will do, as you probably already know, it will enable all the plugins. Now that will take some time, obviously, because it might have a few plugins. And then we obviously do PL again. We can see all of them are green again. Fantastic. And I will just show you that I do believe you can actually do that with no, so you can't obviously unload and load all the plugins like that. I think you can reload and restart all of them like that, but let's just do reload all. Okay, so you can reload it all that, but obviously, like I said, there might be some issues with reloading. In this case, it's Holler API, obviously, and Essential Spawn. But okay, so basically, let's just sum up this plugin. It's really handy for enabling plugins and whatnot on the fly. I mean, it's very handy. Obviously, a lot of small plugins. With the larger plugins like Essentials and Multiverse and that sort of thing, it's probably not a good idea to enable them and disable them on the fly. Obviously, you still can, but just be warned, you may get some errors like this, especially if, like, for me, when I'm reloading all of them, I'm almost bound to get an error. But obviously, it's really handy if you just want to test out a plugin without having to restart the server, or you've got a really busy server, you don't really want to restart it and annoy your players. Then this will be a really great plugin for you. It'll enable you to just do all these things. Okay, and obviously permission support is supported. Everything defaults to opt, but you can actually, every single command, you can have a permission node. And yeah, it's really handy. So I think that concludes today's tutorial. There is a little bit of config actually, but hopefully that should be self-explanatory, so I won't do it for this tutorial. Okay then, thanks for watching. This has been me, Sam K from WoopaGaming, signing out.